Good morning, world, and whoever decides to watch this down the road. I was up at 6:30 this morning and excited for life. I've been waiting for 8 o'clock, which I have not done yet for this YouTube, because I was just like awake and ready to go. I wasn't scrambling to get ready, though. It's been like that is, I like, not to be over dramatic. That is what good weather can do for people, especially humans that are in Canada and you deal with snow and rain, those Vancouver people. And then you get these 2 days of sunshine. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm a brand new woman. So anyway, good morning. True. Happy Monday. We're live. So therefore there's no script. There's no anything. I hope you enjoy our rants today. Deb, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I sat by, it's like you can have 4 seasons in 1 week in Canada. This is amazing. We just went from winter to summer and now we're back to spring. We're probably going to get winter again this week. It's crazy. It's crazy, but the sunshine, oh my goodness. I was sitting around a pool all weekend. It was just, I don't know. You're right. It was rejuvenating. And for some reason, I am a snoozer. You know this about me, but my window's been open. I'm hearing the birds. I'm up before my alarm. It's it's a great feeling. It's good.
Yeah, so if you're with us, let us know. Did you just get up this morning? I'm like, oh, welcome, world. Maybe you've been listening to our podcast about creating a great morning routine. That's helping.
I hope so. I hope that's the case. So tell me about your weekend, because you held an event, or you hosted an event this weekend. So let's hear about it.
Yes. And you know what? I think it's funny because it was all about creating a morning routine that flows. And I planned this event like a month ago, just the idea, like planting the seeds before we even chose our April topic. So I was like, of course, I was in sync with what we're doing for the podcast. So I hosted women for what I call Flow and Tea, because I want to nurture a really great healthy lifestyle. We had some beautiful little eats, and it was 7 women, and we just talked about creating that morning routine that flows without judgment. And that seemed to be the theme. There was a lot of like, oh, I should do this and I have to do this. And this is what I was told, that this is what successful people do. And just a little spoiler, on Thursday, Deb and I are going to talk about or is it next Thursday?
No, next Thursday. Next Thursday, we're talking about how you don't have to conform to all these little wellness rituals.
Yeah, so we'll explore more of that. Though it was very interesting to have common themes of judgment. And if I don't do this, then I won't have that. And it was cool to debunk them again, as women share and we get collectively together. It's so cool to feel like, oh, I'm not the only one, or, oh, I love this strategy. And connection again is so crucial for, I believe, our development, our creativity, just to feel like one with something else greater than ourselves. So it was beautiful. I look forward to doing more Flow and Tea events, and even building that out into corporate leadership for women specifically, because again, when we talk about mornings too, it's not only our chronotype and what times in the morning work for us, though as women, we know our cycles can dramatically affect how we might feel that morning or how quick our step is. So it's really taking into account that you're a human being, and maybe not one size is going to fit all. So that if you've been told that you have to do something, it's not necessarily going to fit for you, and that's okay, and doesn't determine your success. I think your success is made by your mindset and how consistent you want to start making those small yet significant changes in your life. So it was really cool. I absolutely love it. My girlfriend's like, oh, you might be tired. I was like, this stuff jazzes me, man. I'm ready to run a marathon if I was a runner. So that's when you know, people, that you found your little spark of joy, your gifts that you can give is again, I talk about flow. I was in my flow. It rejuvenates my body cycles. It allows me to have more energy, even though I'm exerting so much energy. It's the great type of stress that's moving me forward, the connection, the excitement, the creativity, all that good stuff. It's exhilarating. So that was my beautiful time with women, and it's beautiful.
I love that. I love it.
How was poolside?
Poolside was amazing. It's always great to have a friend with pool. I invite myself over all the time when it's nice
I'll bring
weather.
slushies.
I'll bring dinner. I don't care. I'll bring whatever. No, it was great. And we also celebrated my son is turning 19 this week. So my parents were down yesterday. And, you know, it's those small moments. Like we just played cards after, and it was just so much fun. It was just so lovely. And I was saying to my boyfriend after, I just like enjoyed that time so much. Like it wasn't anything huge. I just barbecued some steaks. It wasn't a big spread or anything like that. But it was a great time.
And
Those small moments with family.
it reminds me of just like kind of getting back to basic humanity, right? If we look at hunter and gatherers, like women for my event, just coming together and gathering and talking and connecting. And as a family, maybe it isn't, the stress of everything, those single ingredients that create a beautiful meal and breaking bread with each other again. Like maybe this week's theme is very much connection. Because that's what I was feeling over the weekend, even like connecting to nature, being able to walk for hours and see the fresh blooms of summer.
Oh yeah, the buds are coming on the trees. It's so beautiful outside. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm not sure if you can hear the music in the background, but my son and I might have a moment when he sees me on camera and goes into the bathroom and blares his music. Can you hear it?
No, I can't.
Okay, that's good. I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
I love you, son. And
I got some work here to do. And you see the light on, so like, what the heck?
That's amazing.
At least he's up for school, so we can look at it either way here. So he's up, he's ready to go.
I have two sick kids, one boyfriend, one child on the couch. I'm not sure what's going on, so I've just kind of left everyone to sleep.
It was my dog's birthday yesterday too. He was 3, and I don't know. We just had a celebration yesterday, 2 birthday celebrations, and it was a lot of fun. But you were talking about cycles and how that can affect your flow. And I'm working with a coach now that talks about like moon cycles and how that can affect your flow too. Mm-hmm. And is that something that you talk about in your flow state, in your tea and flow?
And with this one, there's not enough time. We talk chronotype, we talk basics of like foundational things from positive psychology that help with flourishing lives. The moon cycle is something I personally follow. And Deb was saying that there's something like, our computer's been wonky. So we're in eclipse season, we're in retrograde, and then we have the moon.
We're in Aries or going into Aries?
We're in Aries right now.
Yeah.
So things might be a little bit more fiery. Eclipse season just again like brings really great I feel sometimes like eclipses either starting, and then as the year goes on you hit the eclipse in the later part of the year, then you like that's the cycle that might go full throttle through, or a theme that's going through like let's say the summer months. So going back to the moon cycles though, the new moon, when you have more energy, it's just less intense, or you can have that creativity and clarity going forward and set those seeds of what you want. And then when the full moon is, like, think of that harvest that's coming in. It's allowing to clear. And I think sometimes what people don't realize is that when you're setting intentions or you're reading something, it's not that things are going to come out right away. So I use example of like faith with the last chapter in the book I was reading. If I'm setting an intention to like be like have faith, and that's maybe a theme, the universe isn't going to be like, yeah, I'll give you more faith. It's going to test your faith. It's going to make sure that it's like, you want to see what faith really looks like. Here's a real life example. So I think with the cycles specifically, I definitely watch them. In some of the shorter workshops, there just simply isn't enough time to go in it. I think it's being mindful. And if you don't believe in it, that's cool. Though by science, tides, huge bodies of water, literally go in and out with the moon cycle. And our body is like, what, 60% water? So again, like think of the energy of how it's moving to and from things. And that's how I like simply look at moon cycles without going into like what astrological, like there's so much nuances, and that would be a huge conversation though. I just think like new moons, new intentions, new creativity, more energy. And then the full moon, you might be releasing, letting go, a lot of forgiveness, or just seeing what's coming full circle because it's a full moon.
This week's a new moon, so it's setting new intentions. And right, it's a new moon this week.
New moon,
yeah,
new eclipse. There's just a lot of new energy.
And I'm not a big follower. I'm like, I don't follow it to the nth degree of doing, some people do moon rituals, no judgment there. I just don't. Sometimes I'll get out my journal, but I always seem to either find out about them or recognize that my energy is affected by them. So it's interesting. Maybe I should follow them. Maybe that's a new intention for me. I'm going to follow the moon cycle more.
Mm-hmm. And it's just another guide. If you want to use a guide to kind of support a rhythm for yourself, similar to seasons.
Yeah,
I would look at them similar to that, just on a more constant, like almost monthly cycle. Like we're spring, so of course there's a little bit different. Like we're just coming out of hibernation from winter, and then summer is full force, and then fall, you're again harvesting a lot of what was happening, and then to go back into hibernation over the winter. So kind of think of the moon cycle similar to that. It just happens at a quicker cycle. So sometimes, it's like if it's not right on your heart. However, I do find when people who maybe aren't into like the lunar cycles, and I'm talking to them and I'm like, well, not surprised, it's full moon that's blowing up in your face today. Or like drive, like I find like people around me too can be a little bit more agitated or have a spring in their step. Like it's very interesting to see how human beings can shift and change. And then as for the morning, like it's allowing, I think, more grace and compassion and less judgment about the rigor of things. Like being consistent with compassion is important.
I love that. I don't know. Today's Monday. We just came off like beautiful weather, and now it's supposed to snow in the next day or so. So I'm hopping on a plane tomorrow and I'm out of here. See you later.
Yeah. I wish. I only wish.
I'll send you the sunshine.
There's a lot of like, I'm jazzed about these workshops and just getting into the work, and I've been consistent with walks. So I think it's like, okay, I'm not sugar, I won't melt, and just get out anyway and know that it'll pass. So I'm excited that you're getting away. Like, taking the time and really rejuvenating. I just love it.
And I really question, like I said to my boyfriend, if we don't do it now, we're not going to do it. And, is the timing ever right? Do you know what I mean? Like, is the timing ever right to launch a workshop? Is the timing ever right to do something in your business or start something? But it's never going to be right. So you just have to do it. And that's kind of what we did. It was a very last minute booking, but I'm like, you know what? The timing's not ever going to be right. So we're just going to go. So
my kind of travel, Deb.
If you're, I know that you're much more braver than I am in some aspects of that. I'm a planner. I'm not a very last minute person, but I'm just like, let's do it. Let's just go.
Oh,
it's been a heck of a year for him. He's been, he's had some health issues going on, and it's, tested a lot of faith along the way, and just holding that vision of health. And he's doing really well. So I'm like, that's something to celebrate, and let's just go.
I love it. Well, I don't know. Do something fun for me. Like, I'm not necessarily skydiving, parasailing, or I don't know. I encourage you to do something different.
Do something outside. Okay. I will do something. I've been parasailing and I was like scared for my life. So I probably won't do that, but I will try something. I'll try something new.
Yeah.
For you, Ali. Try something new.
Send a video. We'll put it on our Instagram account. So if you're not following us, please do. And we will have an episode of Connected Conversations. And obviously my morning brain is not, I'm ahead of week. So what do we have going on this week?
Oh, this week we are talking all about stress management. And we have some tips on how to manage stress in the moment. So join us on Thursday for that. And be sure to like, subscribe, share this YouTube podcast, whatever it is, whatever we're calling it. And we will be back next week with another episode of YouTube Live Kickstarting. We're all over the place today. Kickstarting your Monday mornings with Ali and Deb. Have a great week, everyone. And we will see you next week.